Most great empires are forged in fire and blood, leaving only silence and ash in their wake. Yet between the high peaks and river valleys, a different kind of power began to rise. Nomads descended from the steppe not to destroy civilization, but to weave its scattered threads together. They built no walls to guard their borders, finding strength instead in the open roads of trade. Gold coins minted in these mountains carried the faces of gods from 3 distant worlds combined. Greek heroes stood beside Indian sages on stone reliefs, carved by hands that knew both traditions. Travelers moving west brought more than silk and spice, carrying whispers of a new spiritual path. In the bustling markets of Mathura, the heavy silence of conquest was replaced by vibrant exchange. The emperor sat upon his throne, yet his gaze looked beyond the limits of earthly dominion. Stone statues rose from the dust, bearing the likeness of peace rather than the sword's edge. It remained unclear how a dynasty born of war could nurture such profound and gentle stillness. Their cities became meeting grounds where the distinctions between foreigner and native began to slowly dissolve. The air itself seemed heavy with the weight of unseen ideas pressing against the old order. Monks walked the mountain passes in simple robes, wielding an influence greater than any standing army. They carried texts that spoke of suffering and liberation, offering solace to those weary of endless conflict. The empire expanded not by marching legions, but by opening the gates to every wandering soul. Sculptors in Gandhara gave form to the formless, draping the enlightened one in folds of stone. This fusion of styles created a visual language that spoke to the hearts of many peoples. Yet the stability of this vast realm rested on something far more fragile than stone walls. It depended on the delicate balance between the material wealth of trade and the pursuit of truth. Every caravan that crossed the high passes strengthened the invisible web that held the empire together. The rulers understood that true dominance required capturing the imagination rather than merely holding the land. They wore the trappings of power, but their legacy was being written in the minds of men. The crucial question lingered of whether faith could truly bind a fractured world better than fear. The answer emerged as the teachings of the Buddha flowed outward like water from a spring. Merchants became messengers, planting seeds of devotion in lands that had never known the Dharma before. The empire transformed itself into a vessel for the transmission of light across the darkened continent. By embracing the diversity of their subjects, the Kushans created a unity that transcended simple geography. The art of Gandhara proved that beauty could bridge the chasm between east and west effectively. Stone faces carved in these valleys would eventually inspire devotion in temples thousands of miles away. The power of the sword faded, but the image of the serene sage remained etched forever. Trade routes became arteries of culture, pumping life into civilizations that lay far beyond the horizon. This was an authority built on the shared realization that human suffering is a universal burden. The empire served its purpose by dissolving the barriers that had long kept humanity in isolation. What began as a nomadic incursion matured into a golden age of connection and spiritual awakening. The physical borders of the realm eventually crumbled, returning to the dust of the dry plains. Yet the ideas that flourished within those borders continued to travel, unhindered by the fall of kings. Influence rooted in the spirit outlived the stone monuments and the shifting lines on the map. The true conquest was not of the land, but of the human heart through enduring compassion. History remembers best those who build bridges where others build walls, connecting us across the ages.